By definition, audience fragmentation is division of audience into small groups due to the wide spectrum of media outlets. In the 1950s and 60s, TV viewing used to be limited to a small number of channels, with mass outreach to a large number of viewers. But now there's a whole menu of different channel options to choose from with smaller viewership per channel. The US is a huge territory with many vastly different cultures. Different cultures watch different shows. For example, people who watch Duck Dynasty usually are not the same people who watch shows such as Modern Family. The average household home gets around 189 channels, but only watches around 17 of them. This can be shown in maps such as the Duck Dynasty and Rural Areas map. With conservative values that enjoy such things as hunting, there's a reason that these two maps align. As you can see on the sides, the heavily populated urban areas, not many people watch the Duck Dynasty show because it doesn't link up with their. It can also be seen in the Modern Family and Urban Areas map. These two maps, the viewership from the rural areas from the previous slides, are almost completely absent, and the viewership is more focused in a more urban and liberal area that aligns with the values of the forward progressive parts of the show. There are a few problems that affect advertising coming from audience fragmentation. One is that viewers have the ability to watch stations from all over the US, so a person from a place like Atlanta can watch a show from New York City where the advertising is based on someone in New York City, not someone who could be completely different in Atlanta. Another is that with a greater number of channels means less viewership per channel. Back in the older days of TV, there's only a few channels reaching millions of people, but now with hundreds of channels, you have trouble reaching only a million people. And the economic problem with this for advertisers is that they need to reach large audience to make their advertising dollars cost effective. Another problem that could also affect networks is the number of viewers determines the advertising rates. Audience fragmentation will affect the network's revenues as the audience size diminishes. There are some positives though that come with audience fragmentation, specifically direct marketing. With such high audience fragmentation, there are more specific channels for specific groups of people. Take BET for the African American community, or MTV for the millennial younger generation, or the Outdoor Channel for outdoorsmen who enjoy hunting. On the Outdoor Channel, you can find hunting shows. You can find shows such as Duck Dynasty, and with that, you get specific advertising for things such as gun, ammunition, scopes, etc. Whatever you can think about that involves the outdoors. These specifically target these types of people. In conclusion, the layout of TV and its audiences has completely changed in the last 30 years. Fragmentation seems to be determined by where you're from and your background, and people across the US have completely different backgrounds. And this makes it difficult for advertisers to really advertise for. Audience fragmentation does make it difficult, but for the viewer comes specific marketing, and advertisers can directly market to specific types of people on certain channels. Although audience fragmentation does seem troublesome, it's where the world seems to be going, and it seems to be working for most networks.